All right, let's do this. My dog isn't used to me talking when it's just me and her here, and and so she's going crazy hearing my voice. She's used to it when there's other people around, but when it's just me and her, she thinks if I'm talking to her. So hopefully she won't be too distracting. Let me switch this camera here to what we're working on. I started this painting yesterday. I spent about probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour on it yesterday, and excuse me. I spent about another 20 minutes at lunchtime today on it. These are just kind of studies. I took a workshop from Zhaoming Wu a couple weeks ago and have just been obsessed with his paintings and his style ever since. That's what I've got over here is basically the source image, or the reference image is one of Zhaoming Wu's. Signatures down here in the bottom. My goal isn't to recreate it perfectly. I'll maybe spend another hour and a half on it tonight and then call it done. My goal is just to try to catch some of his style, some of his color, and that's kind of the goal for this whole notebook that I have. There isn't any masterpieces in there. The size is 9 by 12. A little bit easier than my iPad. And then another goal is just having a small notebook and knowing that I'm not trying to create any masterpieces kind of keeps me painting. I'm trying to paint a little bit every day just to get better at it. And the notebook helps me do that because like I said, there's worst case, I'll just flip the page and I'll start another one. These pages aren't very expensive relative to the nice aluminum panels that some artists paint on. And I'm rambling a little bit, but my goal for the day is I'd like to be able to capture some of the expressiveness in the folds of the chair, the folds of the dress as it goes over her thigh here. Her hair is just beautiful. I'd love to be able to capture some of that. The glow here, where the light comes through it, I guess backlit. I love the kind of glow in the shadow here. I'd like to be able to capture some of that. Sorry, I'm a little stuffed up. But let's get started. This is my first streaming video, and so there'll be a lot of fussing, I imagine. I'm sure my camera is going to die or my phone is going to die. This whole streaming app is running through my phone, and I'm not sure what's going to happen if it locks or I don't know what to expect. I've only streamed for about a minute or two just to set things up, and who knows what's going to happen after 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But if there's any issues or whatever, hopefully I could just splice it back together. My goal is to do live streaming, and this is a new streaming account that I have. It's specifically for the South Bay Art Meetup group, and since I have no subscribers, there's a restriction that you can't live stream unless you have 50 subscribers or more. So I'm forced to basically create a recording and then upload it. But the goal is at some point to be able to do live streams and to be able to comment and answer questions and adjust the feedback and things like that. But anyways, let's get painting. All right. So as you can see, I kind of got a mess on my palette from earlier today. My goal right now is to just try to do what I can about fixing some of the errors that or not errors, but issues that I see. I work in tech, so I'll probably say error more often than most people, but I like to soften up some of these lines. I've got some drawing corrections. I would love to be able to get a nice hand and a nice foot. Oh, what else? Yeah, some more. So obviously, I've just kind of got the hair in her back blocked in, but all those really bright spots that you see in the image, I'd love to be able to recreate those where I can. I got a little bit of a, I should tape this down or something because I've got a little bit of a issue where the corner is starting to pull out from the page. Sorry about the noise, but let me try to tape that down. I think we've gone 5 minutes already and I haven't done a single bit of painting, but par for the course. Let's see how this is going to work. It's still wet. You can see, let's try that for now. I don't want to take too much of it because then, yeah. All right. I don't want to fuss with it. My brush is pretty small because I was doing some of this work in the hair. But let me get a little bit bigger one here. Sorry, I'm a little stuffed up. So this is the long flat number 6 made by Trekell. This is the Spectrum. Do I have any clamps or anything? Let's try this. Put that down there. Not knock over my iPad. All right. So let's see what we can do with this. I think one of the hardest parts about painting is just getting started. That's a nice thing about this notebook too is I usually gesso a couple pages and so that it's ready to go when I need it or when I feel like painting. And when it comes time to paint, I don't have any excuses. I definitely recommend that. Remove as many obstructions as you can. Let's start with that for now. This is supposed to be her foot. I think I'm going to have to carve into the back of that a little bit. And it kind of goes up like that. Fix that with some this brown here. Clean that up a little bit. Make it a little foot-like. I am going to use a little brush a little bit. Filbert that I had. A little red back in that bottom there. That comes all the way across. All the way across. A little red down here. All right. All right. Let's clean this up a bit that we messed up with her shin. I keep calling it a shin, but it's her calf, obviously. This is a lot redder than mine. Try to adjust that a little bit. Definitely a lot redder. I was trying to make this dark, but this is definitely a lot redder. So let's get some orange in there. A little bit of that cat red light. So he's pretty red up here. And he's red here. And he's got so kind of what I keep forgetting is this leg here is the leg that's closest to us. And then right here is the knee from the other leg. And it starts out dark like a shadow. And then as you move away from it, it's getting lighter. Got to make that a little higher. Let's make it a little lighter. I think I got to get even more lighter. Come over up here. Feather that in a little bit. Then I'm going to fix this. Yeah, that looks all right, I guess. All right. He's got some cool little flourishes here. Recreate that a little bit. Got some flourishes in the hair. Just trying not to be too literal. Got a really neat one there. It's almost yellow. Let's see what happens if we do it with yellow. Cool. Might be a little too much. But we'll cut back into that in a bit. All right, I'm going to mute for a second. I got a cough. If you know me, this happens. All right, turn the mute off. See, if we were live streaming, I could get your help and ask, what's next? What's next? Kind of made a mess there. I should have cleaned my palette off. It's a little messy. I know it's way too early, but let's see what we could do about some of those highlights. Right, I have a little bag here on the right. Sorry about that bang. Let's see here. All right, so let's set that there for now. 1 second. Got a cough again. Okay, I'm back. All right. So I see that highlight as, gosh, it's white with maybe a little bit of cad lemon. So let's start with that. Let's get our brush really clean. We'll start with the white. And then let's try just a little bit. Yeah, that looks like cad lemon to me. Let's try it. Let's see what we can do about this. Oops. Drag that white right across the cad lemon. Let's see. How's that reading in the picture? And in my experience, this is kind of a layering thing. You kind of go back and forth. You lay on a little bit of the highlight. You lay on a little bit of the dark. You know, to create the folds in the shadows. You got to start somewhere. So let's start with crazy white. And I'm going to clean my brush off a little bit every time, just to not pollute that white so much. This is really white. See how I just polluted that? Right. And he's got this line here. Comes down. He's got this cool little flap. I wish I could see what that dress actually was like in real life. But, and then on top of this shadow, he's got a big swoop. All right, I gotta remember to clean my brush every time. And then we gotta do this section here. This is like a little triangle. Kind of right there. So we get some more paint on the back of it. And then I gotta basically, I hate to use the word blend, but yeah, I'm gonna blend that a little bit. Let's try some of this cad yellow. It's kind of orangey. Yeah. Use my artist's words. By orangey, I meant warm. Some highlight on that shoulder right here. Yeah, it's hard not to pollute my colors. But that is... There's just a little line right there. I tend to pop around a little bit. Let's do a little bit here. triangle. It's not too bad, but you can fix it with that red. Man, nothing like it, huh? That kind of stuff. Let's see. Some kind of brush here that's been neglected. Let's see what we can do with this little guy. Yeah, that's going to work out fine. I think that's going to be my hairy arm in the way. Yeah, my big hairy hand is in the way. Gotta be careful here because I don't want to take away that how dark that is. Let's see, I'm gonna put that. It's almost like I want a dark spot here. Let's do this one though. Really thin it down a bit. So I'm just going to come up from the chair. Because I can fix that chair pretty easily. Yep, not quite what I had in mind. But I think we can work with it. It's nice to see my phone hasn't turned off. My phone is running this whole streaming bit. So if it goes off, I notice that the software will stop, hence stopping my recording. Like your shoulder a lot better than mine. It kind of goes down like this. What I'd love to know is how big this original painting is. I've seen him paint before, so it could be really small. By small, I mean 9 by 12, but Something too I've learned is not be afraid of if you think you have a section that's perfect, don't be afraid to destroy it to fix something else, because just because it feels like perfect, if you go back and destroy it and then fix it, it's usually pretty easy to fix. And in my experience, it ends up looking better. So again, I'm just kind of bopping around. I want to add some shadow under this. It's kind of weird to think of shadows as red and brown, but in this case they are. So and this is all new to me, by the way. I painted one other figure. I painted one at the, let me quit lying. I painted, in the workshop, I painted 2 figures. With a lot of help from Zhaoming Wu. And then I did a master copy of one of his paintings about a week ago. And then this is my 4th attempt at a figure. So this is all pretty new to me. So I'm winging it. I'm used to shadows in trees and rocks, not necessarily shadows in people, but we'll do the best we can. I'm trying to be mindful of the places that, like, he has areas that just disappear, like where the arm disappears into the leg. I'm like trying to be mindful of stuff like that. So I'm trying to recreate it. Sorry about being stuffy. I'm drinking wine and I had a sandwich before we started and it's got me all phlegmy. Yuck. Let's see, I'm getting all up in your face. I'm gonna have to zoom that camera out at some point. Get any closer. Not too bad. He's got some cool spots. And I don't think, yeah, relatively cool. Like these greens under her arm. Probably a little darker than he went with. Also from here, he's pretty dark. See what we can do about transitioning this here. The problem with the surface of this notebook is, unlike canvas, or even like the oil prime panels that I get, um, it's super smooth. Like it's almost like painting on um, like tinfoil. Um, the It's just got no tooth, and where I'm going with this is I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it up here in my background, where every time I lay down a brush stroke, I kind of scratch paint off as well. So like here, you can see these where I'm trying to make dark brush strokes. I've also pulled off paint so that there's light strokes underneath it. Or, yeah, making a lot of excuses today, but I'm just saying I'm struggling. One thing I can't tell from this stream is how long I've been recording. Let's see. It doesn't tell me. I'll have to start a stopwatch or something in the future. Oops. Stuff like this is so subtle in his painting, where he's got these fine little folds. He's got a big one here. Something that was crazy to me is Zhaoming Wu painted pretty much the entire demo with big flat brushes. And he did get out a small filbert like the one that I'm using once in a while, but certainly not for this type of thing. For this type of thing, he used, interestingly enough, a fan brush and in these big flats. I want to say he had a 1-inch flat and even a 1 1/4 inch flat. And of course, everybody in the class has all ordered their big giant 1-inch flats. I forget the name of the place. If I remember, I'll put it in the comments or the info section for the stream. But I ended up finding the exact set on eBay.com out of Korea, and he did say that they were Korean brushes. The problem, though, is I think the shipping time is 2 months. I think I get them sometime in May. And he would do, I'm going to screw up my painting, but he would do a lot of this stuff. Big swoops. Let me try it with a smaller brush. What he would do is big swoops with a big brush. But the brush would once you got it a little wet with paint and medium, it made a nice chisel edge. See, I can't even do that. The problem too is as soon as you touch it, you destroy it. Oops, where did that come from? Instagram is blowing up because I made some comments earlier and now people are saying thank you. But if I switch my app to Instagram from this software, it's going to stop the recording. But I'm going to have to stop the recording in a bit too, just to see where I'm at. Maybe take a little break. Let's see how this streaming software is doing. See, that is really bright there. Maybe think a little bit more about how I want to attack this. It's good to take breaks when you're painting, especially when you're kind of struggling. I'm not really struggling though. I'm just kind of, what I'm thinking about now is I'm basically just trying to find things that I can fix and address those. And kind of my philosophy, I'll say my philosophy is just to keep painting until I can't find any more stuff to fix. We were talking in the workshop too about kind of there's some irony to it that every time you lay down a brushstroke, you kind of wreck something else. And the joke was, that's how you know when you're done painting or working on a painting, is when you're willing to leave the last thing that you broken. My reflexes explain that a little more, but I'm gonna just let it sit there. All right, I think that's a good test for tonight. I'm gonna stop this recording and see if I broke anything or see if it even worked. I'm gonna try uploading it to YouTube, see if that works, because I haven't done any of this stuff before. And I'll publish it publicly and hopefully get my, I forget, what did I say, 50 followers? So that I could do live streaming. And I just need to step away a little bit from this just to kind of get a different perspective. I'm all up on it, which is not the best thing for perspective. I like those. It's hard to stop, as you know. Just like one more thing and I'm done. That's just not the case. That's my dog. We, from the window that she's sitting in, she could see a dog park. And that whining is her wanting to go to the dog park. So that might be something good for us to do too. Let's take a little break and take a little walk. Kind of went straight from work to setting up these cameras and firing them up. And I haven't had a proper break. So why don't we do that? Take a little break and then I'll keep working on this. I probably got another half hour of fussing around with it, but I'll record that as well and upload it. We'll call this part 1 and we'll call the next one part 2. And hopefully not too many more parts. I'm excited. I gessoed a 16 by 20 canvas. Is it bigger than that? So a 16 by 20 inch canvas, and I'm excited about getting working on that, and I'll share that with you guys as well. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.